Next story I came across this morning, and the title of the tweet says, "Diets with too much meat may cause health problems, comma, low testosterone in men, study. Or any diets with too much meat will cause health problems, including low testosterone in men." And then they say study because there's a study that they're referring to. Subtitle: researchers said that they believed that high protein diets could cause protein poisoning. They start out saying a new study suggests that having a diet with too much protein can cause serious health problems in men. This means that many low carbohydrate diets have a negative effect on men's testosterone and cortisol.
Low carbohydrates is already a pretty good indicator, but it's funny how they blame meat on the problem
Right.
versus not eating more carbohydrates.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'd noticed too. The title says diets with too much meat is the issue. And then they go in, first mention of the study, they say that it suggests having a diet with too much protein. Meat is a source of protein, but if you're looking at the actual source, that is completely what matters when it comes to everything nutrition.
Like those guys who crush 5 protein shakes a day.
Yeah, that too. That's not even meat. What would they say about that? Because they're deducing from the statement saying too much protein can cause X, Y, Z, and then saying, oh, it's meat. Meat is the problem. Meat will cause X, Y, Z. Not true. From the outset, they're saying meat. And then they change it, protein. And then they change it again and add a modifier and say low carb diet. So, okay, what the that's already going very far. That's a very slippery slope that we just fell down within the first 30 seconds of reading this article. From the initial triggering kind of information, which was that meat is the issue. And I think to an extent, for sure, all these people that are doing even carnivore diet, they have very namely issues with cortisol to a point when they restrict carbohydrates. But to go ahead and say that it's protein that is the bad aspect of having a low carbohydrate diet is going very far, because you could fill up those calories with whatever you wanted. I know a lot of the protein that's discussed in this study, they're talking about things like beans and lentils, and that's definitely not even accessible protein, and that's what causes a lot of the issues that they talk about. Things like ammonia, which can become toxic, thus of course stressing out the body and everything else under the sun. And I mean, I'm not going to dive into the rest of this study because first of all, they're misrepresenting the entire article. I would absolutely not say to anyone that you should constrict carbohydrates to a very low value for
I've done
extended
it.
period of time. Yeah.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah.
We've both done it.
Just like anything. I mean, we've learned our lessons from doing that in the past because we are covering a different base of issues and a whole other host of metabolic issues, which can be helpful, but you can't adopt that for the rest of your life. Some people will read this article and maybe look at the study and say, oh, eating low carbs is bad. And I would say, well, from there,
Naughty.
they would be like, oh, well, I'm going to double down and maybe eat even more carbs.
Double carbs because it's
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. So, which is not good either because it all comes down to sourcing. Yesterday, I did a very high carb day, but you do it properly with good source foods, good fruits, good starchy vegetables in their most natural form, and stay away from all the fake shit. You know, even throw in some raw honey, for example, if you need something that's going to hit really quick. But yeah.
You need that quick hit, methylene blue. I mean, carbohydrates.
Yeah. Honey and methylene blue.
Oh boy.
Great.
Canceled.